is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with another video late this Sunday night. We're going to talk about Zion Williamson, a guy that I haven't really covered as much because I don't try to get involved into players that are not in the NBA or haven't made it there yet. And, of course, as the people that have been subscribed for a while know, that Zion Williamson is a guy that has become so popular amongst fans, and they can't wait to see him play. He's a #1 pick, and he's a guy that's going to have one of the best selling jerseys, and he's going to have a team that's not that bad. He's going to have a team that can really go out there and compete and possibly even be a playoff team. And they do have a coach like Alvin Gentry, one of the most respected coaches. He knows how to coach offense and get the best out of a lot of players, and he got a lot of guys that's trying to prove themselves. You got Lonzo and Drew Holiday that like to get up and down the floor, and they can be decent defenders. Zion has potential to be a decent defender. So does guys like Brandon Ingram. Plus, you add the shooting of J.J. Redick, and Derek Favors is on a contract year that he really wants to prove that he can be better than he was in Utah. And you look at Zion, a 6'7", 285-pounder, getting paid $9 million this season, which is ridiculous for a rookie. But with all the hype and all the potential, I wanted to ask the fans a question. Do you think that Zion can be an all-star? People compare him to Blake Griffin a lot for various reasons. And Blake Griffin was a guy that came in with a lot of hype and ended up being an all-star his first year, being able to grab 20 and 10 with the Los Angeles Clippers. And he's on pace for a Hall of Fame career right now as he made it back to the All-NBA and All-Star team this season for the Detroit Pistons. But I thought it was very interesting seeing all the hype circulate and all the talk go around about Zion because he is a fun and exciting player. He is a guy that can play multiple positions in the NBA, and what better coach to have than Alvin Gentry to do that. I have met Alvin Gentry and talked to him before, and I thought that it was kind of crazy that the season that you're losing Anthony Davis is the season that you get the #1 pick in the NBA draft to replace him with a potential star in Zion Williamson. But when you look at Zion and you really see his game, can you really see him putting up enough numbers in the NBA without really having a legitimate jump shot, as we know right now, because we haven't really seen it because he hasn't played? And can he really give you 20 points? Can he really put up enough numbers to guarantee or warrant Rookie of the Year? Even though we've seen rookies like Malcolm Brogdon not have to really do as much to win Rookie of the Year. But this is going to be a very competitive year if a lot of these guys can stay healthy, because a lot of these guys have opportunities to put up those numbers because the team is either going to play them a lot of minutes or they're going to be asked to do a lot more just because they're needed to do it. And we even seen that last year with Trae Young putting up crazy numbers and Luka Doncic averaging over 20, Ayton giving you a double-double. And those were guys that probably will win Rookie of the Year this season if they put up those numbers. That's because they were just so good. But you look at this season coming up, and you look at the Ja Morants in Memphis, and you look at Kobe White having the opportunity. You look at even for the Phoenix Suns, they're going to have an opportunity. You look at Cleveland, who's going to score a lot of buckets for them is going to either be Colin Sexton, Kevin Love, or Darius Garland. They plan on starting him for what I heard, and he's going to have an opportunity to get up and down and get some easy shots, and he's a guy that can create his own shot off the dribble, and he can knock down shots off the ball, which is what you need to do if you're going to play with a guy like Colin Sexton and Kevin Love, who likes to play in the post and off in the three-point line. But you also see a lot of guys that have potential, even like in Washington with Rui, with no John Wall, just Bradley Beal. Somebody's going to have to help Bradley Beal out and knock down shots for him. You even look at other teams that are just as bad, like the New York Knicks, being a terrible team this season, possibly just because they're young and they still have to learn and understand the game and develop. And um, it's going to be an interesting race to see who can really pull this season Rookie of the Year out. Even R.J. Barrett for the Knicks, he's going to have an opportunity to get a lot of shots and really put a chance to give you about 17, 18 points possibly because of the free throws. He's going to get a lot of free throw attempts because he's aggressive and then always in attack mode. And you can see the same thing happening for Zion Williamson. This is a guy that's going to be getting knocked around and pushed around in the post and in the paint, and he's just going to have to be able to knock down free throws. And if he does that, that will help increase his stats. Because if you look at Rookie of the Year, majority of the time it's just who has the best stats. It's not really about winning. It's not really about who's the best player. If you have an opportunity to take as many shots or get a lot of shots up, or even put up stats, whether it's just rebounds or assists or whatever, like we seen with Ben Simmons giving you a lot of rebounds, assists, and points. Um, I think Zion can definitely be a guy that can average one block, one steal, 15, 16 points a game, and still give you 8 to 10 rebounds, depending on what position he's going to play and how many minutes he's going to play, and if he can stay healthy. But I think Zion is one of the more interesting players the last couple years because it is an unknown of how can his game really translate to the NBA without having that jump shot. Because when Blake Griffin came into the game, shooting one wasn't as important as it is 6, 7 years later, where everybody in the game wants to shoot threes and the coaches want to preach pace and space and really get out. But Zion cannot even hit a mid-range jumper consistently at this point, let alone a three or a free throw. So it's going to be very clogged, and people are going to be prepared for that. He's going to have to really muscle and out strength and try to use his first step as much as he can to get to the basket. And I think one thing that can help him out is kind of like what you see with Ben Simmons, is Giannis giving him the ball and allowing him to get close to the basket from the start, whether he gets a first start in the paint, whether he gets a first start just in the low post and being able to do one or two moves, get a little push shot or a little floater, a little drop step, get a layup or a dunk or get to the free throw line. I think those are things that can really help Zion Williamson get a lot of points. And then you got Lonzo that's going to always be looking to find you. You got to keep moving. You got to keep coming off screens. You got to keep cutting. You got to always be open because Lonzo is going to try to hit you. And with Drew Holiday being a guy that can play in the pick and roll, Zion can set screens that can allow him to roll to the basket and finish with dunks. Or if they don't pay attention to him, he can do the cuts straight to the basket from the paint. And I think that little 15-footer push shot or a floater could really help open his game up because they put the defense in a situation where they're going to either have to come up, which he can blow past them, or they're going to have to sag off, which is going to give him that space to get the shot off clean if he does play in the pick and roll or stay by the paint. But I think that a push shot or a floater will really help him get easy points. And we start seeing a lot of bigs like Steven Adams and Clint Capella start doing it too, because when you're that tall and that athletic, you don't really need that much space to get the shot off. And if you do have the space, it's a soft touch, and you can just float it right into the basket. And Zion is a leaper, and he is a guy that if he hitting that shot, you got to get up on him. And if you do, he's so explosive and so physical that he can't get to the free throw line or finish off the backboard or even with an exciting dunk. And like I said, if he can knock down his free throw, that's just going to increase his points total because he's going to have the attempts just because he plays so physical and he likes to contact and he can finish through contact. And I can see the same thing happening for a guy like R.J. Barrett. But the problem that him and R.J. Barrett have together is just they don't have the floor space. And Lonzo is not known as a great shooter. Drew Holiday is not known as a great shooter. Brandon Ingram is not known as a great shooter from the three-point line. And I think that that's something that can really hurt him, even if you look at guys like Jahlil Okafor, Derek Favors, and even Jackson Hayes, or even if you go even further with guys like Jahlil Okafor and guys, the rest of the roster, you just don't have enough shooting to really offset Zion's ability not to be able to shoot. And then J.J. Redick is not going to be able to solve it because that's the only real shooter that you have to worry about on the court as of right now for what we know on this Pelican teams, and he's going to be getting a lot of attention because he is the only shooter. And I'm just going to be interested in this. This is just going to be interesting for all of us to see how Alvin Gentry modernized and how he tries to figure out how to use his talent. We all gave David Griffin a lot of praise, and which is well deserved for getting rid of Anthony Davis and consuming all these picks and getting all this young talent. But now it's just are they going to mesh? How are they going to play? How are they going to close and win games when they do have the lack of free throw shooting and shooting all over the roster? Plus, on top of that, Zion has no experience playing in the NBA. He is going to be exciting from day one because that's just who he is and that's just his style. But when the game is played with a lot of big and athletic guys, he doesn't have that physical advantage that he would have in college and high school in the NBA because they're strong and they're long and they're athletic and mobile. Plus, they, like we've seen with Giannis, they can wall you off and force you to do the kick out. But we don't know if Zion is a great enough passer at this point on the NBA level to be able to make his teammates better. And that's why I brought that up, because you can't really trust on Drew Holiday and Alonzo and Ingram to knock down shots from the three-point line consistently for what we know now. So is he going to be able to get to the paint? Is he going to have the space? Is he going to be able to kick out? Is he going to get walled off because they don't have the shooters? And how are teams just going to gang up on Zion knowing that they're going to need some offense from somebody outside of Brandon Ingram and Drew Holiday, and who is going to be that guy? And it has to be Zion. And if it is him, I just want to see how he's going to continue to get his points efficiently, and if his game really can translate offensively to the NBA level when it's more congested, more athletic, and more physical, and guys are just as big and strong as you. Maybe not at his position, but the centers and the power forwards are more mobile and athletic nowadays that they can contest and help rotate wise and make it a lot more harder for Zion than he would have in college or in high school. So it's going to be a learning experience. It's going to be a growing experience. And if Zion is going to be a great player, he's just going to learn from it. He's just going to continue to study the footage, continue to put in the work until he actually can honestly make those improvements, which is unrealistic right now. But in the future, he have summers and years and experience and more knowledge, and he'll see more, and he should be able to adapt and change his game and evolve his game to the point where he should be able to handle these things hands down. But as a rookie, not really knowing what to expect and getting it and not being able to adapt right away because you haven't seen it enough, you can see a lot of things that could be growing pains for him for this season. And I'm just being honest. Zion's going to have opportunity. He's going to have the shots, but is he going to be able to finish? Is he going to be able to stay efficient? Is he going to be able to adjust and adapt right away and get off to a good start and not really hit the rookie wall as hard as teams do grow and adapt to him and make it tougher? Is he going to be able to evolve and adjust his game this season, or is it going to take him a couple seasons to do it? And if that's the case, other rookies might have a hand up depending on how their team is and how they're built. And some players, to me, in this rookie class have opportunities because the team they play on and the type of talent they have around them to put up wins and put up stats, while also being able to put up competitive stats against a guy like Zion. So I don't think the Rookie of the Year is going to be hands down Zion. We don't know who's going to win it, and it has been surprise winners before that has come into the NBA and have won it over the number one pick multiple times just this decade. You got guys like Dame Lillard, you got guys like Malcolm Brogdon, and you never know. Injuries do happen, trades do happen, and those opportunity arise for players to get those minutes and get those chances, just like Zion has as number one pick to put up those numbers. And if that's the case, he's going to have some competition. But then again, that's the whole point of the NBA. Everybody competing for those wins. Everybody competing for their career and that roster spot. And this year is not going to be any difference. So let me know what you guys think. Who going to win Rookie of the Year? Can Zion be the Rookie of the Year? Is he hand down as Rookie of the Year? Is I'm sleeping on Zion? Is Zion overrated? Or do you think that Zion is the best rookie, so he should have the best season? Remember, Luka Doncic was not the number one pick. He wasn't even the second pick. And he still dominated the game enough to win Rookie of the Year. But we also had Donovan Mitchell come out of nowhere and give some contest that we didn't see coming to Ben Simmons for Rookie of the Year. So they can come out of the blue. Opportunities can come. Just like Donovan Mitchell coming off the bench. Some things happen. Next thing you know, he got the starting spot, and then he had a chance to win it. That can happen this year too, but we have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm going. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.